All right, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Now, enjoy this video. Okay, we're back for week 5 of 5 NFL thoughts. As you know, every single week I give you 5 NFL thoughts, and this is week number 5. Let's jump right into it with thought number 1. Kyle Shanahan is the best coach right now in the NFL. What this guy is doing and what he has been dealt with so far this season is pretty insane. If you look at the San Francisco 49ers roster, it is depleted with injuries. I'm talking star upon star upon star out with injuries. And he goes on the road in Los Angeles against a Rams team that can legitimately win the Super Bowl this year. They are legitimately Super Bowl contenders. And he takes a backup quarterback in Mac Jones. All of his receivers are hurt. He does have Christian McCaffrey, yes. A not great offensive line. And he picks apart the Rams defense. Look, I've been critical of Kyle Shanahan. I think sometimes he's a little too schemy. He relies a little too much on his scheme and his mind. And he doesn't let the players win it at times. But his coaching so far this year, you cannot do anything but just give him a round of applause for what he is doing. Because he is coaching his absolute tail off. It has been a masterclass of coaching by Kyle Shanahan. Because their whole roster is depleted. They have so many guys, top-tier football players, out with injuries. And he just keeps this thing rolling. I mean, the 49ers are 4-1. They're 4-1, beating some pretty good football teams. They just beat the Rams on the road with Mac Jones. And he didn't just baby Mac Jones. He let Mac Jones throw the ball over 40 times. What Kyle Shanahan is doing right now is special from a coaching aspect. It is a special thing that he is doing right now. His roster is not elite, and he's showing everybody what type of offensive mind he is. He was super creative. So far this year, they haven't been really able to run the football at a high level, even though they do have Christian McCaffrey. So I think he kind of switched his mindset a little bit coming into this game against the Rams on Thursday. And he let Mac Jones throw the ball a little bit more, but didn't allow Mac Jones to put the ball in harm's way or have any hard reads. He kind of did it all for him. And it was just a special coaching performance by Kyle Shanahan. Thought number 2. The Dallas Cowboys have an offense that is Super Bowl caliber. It is. It is a Super Bowl caliber offense. For the past 2 weeks, they've scored almost 40 points without CeeDee Lamb, without their best offensive weapon. Dak Prescott right now is playing quarterback about as good, if not better, than any quarterback in the NFL right now. He is playing elite quarterback play. And he's doing it without CeeDee Lamb. They're running the ball good with Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders. That has surprised me because last year they couldn't run the ball to save their life. But they've run the ball really effectively this year. George Pickens looks special. He's looked even better on Dallas, especially the last 2 weeks with CeeDee Lamb out, than he did even with the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. And this whole offense is just surgically moving up and down the field. What they did a couple weeks ago against Green Bay, where they scored 40 points, was special. What they did this week against the Jets, special. I mean, their offense is legitimately Super Bowl contending offense. It is that good. Now, their defense, different story. Their defense is not there yet. We knew it wouldn't be there after they traded away Michael Parsons. But I just wanted to talk about this offense and Dak Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer. You got to give Brian Schottenheimer a lot of credit because he's the one calling the plays. And they've run the ball a lot better under Schottenheimer than they did under Mike McCarthy. But having Dak back, Dak's making great decisions. He's not turning the football over. He's giving his guys shots down the field. They're explosive when they need to be. They're methodical when they need to be. They are operating at a high level on the offensive side of the ball. Thought number 3. The last 2 weeks, the Houston Texans have looked like the team people thought they would look like at the beginning of the year. They have. Now I know you're going to say, look who they've played. They've played the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens, who are depleted with injuries. But you got to go do it against teams. Like, I don't care who it's against. You just got to show me that you can do it. You got to show me that it's at least in there, that you can perform at a high level. We always knew their defense was elite. Like, their defense has been special since the week 1. Their defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. But their offense the last 2 weeks has been excellent. Yes, against weak opponents. We understand that. But you got to give the Texans offense credit for going out there and actually doing it, even though it's against bad opponents. I think C.J. Stroud looked excellent. He's been on time, on target. He's had more rhythm. The offense has felt like it's had more rhythm and flow. They've gotten some other receivers involved, not just Nico Collins. They've gotten Jaden Higgins, Xavier Hutchinson, Noel. And then Woody Marks is one of the best young running backs in football. I am a big believer in Woody Marks. They need to get him the ball more. He needs to be their feature back over Nick Chubb. Now, Nick Chubb played well against Baltimore, had a big touchdown run, ran the ball hard. But Woody Marks, to me, is what's really made this offense change. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got a quick burst, breaks tackles. And then you go to the pass game. You're working Nico Collins on the in-breaking routes. They're starting to get him the ball more. You're finally starting to use your draft picks and Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, like those types of guys who you should have been using at the beginning of the year, but you didn't. I don't know why. But now you're finally starting to use those guys. And this offense is finally starting to flow. Yes, against bad opponents. I get that. I understand that. You don't have to keep telling me. But you got to go out there and do it against whoever's on your schedule. And the Texans have the last 2 weeks. Thought number 4. The LA Chargers, to me, have all the pieces to win it all. They do. Their defense, their offense. But the thing to me is that's going to hurt them, especially this year, is their offensive line. Their offensive line went from maybe the best offensive line in football to now one of the worst offensive lines in football. It has turned into that bad. Consistently, Justin Herbert is getting hit over and over and over again. And Justin Herbert is not that type of player where he can just consistently get hit over and over and over again and overcome that. He's not that type of player. He's a surgical assassin that can pick people apart with his brain, his arm, but he needs a clean pocket. That's who he is. And their offense, it's not that their offense is just all of a sudden bad. It's just been depleted by injuries. Joel out. Slater out for the year. You didn't even have him at the beginning of the year. Like, this offensive line is what's going to hold this LA Chargers team back. It's going to be this offensive line because all the pieces for the Chargers are there. For them to win the division, for them to win the Super Bowl even. Like, it's all there. Except for the offensive line. My 5th and final thought here in week number 5. Here it is, thought number 5. Mike Vrabel is changing the culture of the New England Patriots. That was a signature win for Vrabel and the Patriots in Buffalo this week. That's a statement win. That is a win. That's a culture win. That's a win that says, hey, we're no longer going to be this bad football team. We're a new team. We're going to be a competitive football team. We're going to be a team that actually has a chance to beat good football teams. Drake May looks like a stud. Probably had his best game I've seen him play. In Buffalo, on the road against Josh Allen. He performed excellent. The numbers aren't going to be popping. The numbers aren't going to eye pop. They're not going to jump off the TV screen when you look at them. But he was sensational. This is a big, big win for Vrabel because you know his culture is starting to get in order, and for the Patriots. This is a win that says, hey, we're no longer this bad team. What a win for the New England Patriots. But that's my 5 NFL thoughts. What are your 5 thoughts from this week's NFL slate? Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and have an awesome day.